Dicey performance is recorded at Umeå Folkuniversitet. Contains adult themes and adult language.
And welcome back to Dicey Performance Apocalypse World. We are in the heart of the action, but before we get back to it, I just want our beloved audience to know that this show is led by show leader, program host, man who enjoys turtles, Jakob Säfsten. And with me, I have playing Cindy Sweet.
Someone who loves ice cream is currently eating Max, because why not? I'm Verona.
And playing Bright Spider, we have...
The Lord of Shitty Rolls, the creepiest person in the room, and the overtly eloquent apocalypse dude, Alexander.
And last but not least, playing Fluffy Betty Jr., we have...
A very normal person.
Called Tialda. Hey, we got there. We got there in the end.
Get the normal out of here.
Re-normie, etc., etc. Does anyone want to catch us up on what happened last episode? Maybe specifically the last 10 minutes of last episode? Because the first 50 was a lot of talking.
Well, the last episode can be summarized quite succinctly as a petulant baby fight between two PCs that went on for 50 minutes, and then an assault on an armored compound which killed a bunch of our lovely NPCs and almost maimed Bright Spider.
I think that's pretty succinct.
I think so too. Very inclusive.
Yeah, I understand what happened. So, do we want to just, jump right in? Does anyone have something they want to say, do, feel, experience, be?
Well, I'm dying.
It's true. So, as the credits, or not the credits, the intro fades, we hear the screams of someone whose leg is currently being burned alive from the inside, as we see her clutching it desperately on the war-torn ground, and stepping straight over her, half hobbling to himself, as half of his side has been scorched by a rampage fire spout. We see Bright Spider, his robe half gone, and I assume eyes really fucking determined, stumbling into the hold. And I guess you walk straight into the back of Fluffy Betty.
Yes. I'm staring forward very determinedly, hobbling as best as I can, one hand clutching my burn, raw skin that's exposed to the outside, the other holding a gun, and through the smoke or evaporating snow, I just straight into Fluffy Betty and almost fall backwards.
Oh no. But then...
And I presume it is about time that you showed up?
Yes? How are you doing?
Oh, absolutely delightful, Could have used a bigger gun, but it is the way it is. Are you going to stand here, or are we going to move on?
We can move on. I can help you.
Do you take Bright Spider over your shoulder?
At this point, that's necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bright, I will not deign to be carried, as I'm trying to at least somehow lead my remaining cultists. So I will accept a shoulder. I won't be carried as a sack of potatoes.
Hell no.
Yeah. So Cindy, where do we see you?
She walks into the facility and sees Bright Spider clutching desperately into Fluffy Betty.
Yeah, and they seem to be walking away from you right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She looks around, takes in her surroundings, and calculates all of the exits.
Yeah.
Just so she knows in worst case scenario, she can escape. She has a plan.
Yeah. So someone walks up beside you, and you look over, you see it's Camo, her face all covered in soot. And she goes, I have reports on the charge, ma'am. We lost 6 good people, but we have taken the outer holding. But it seems as if though Ken's people have fled deeper into the facility.
Good to know.
What's your orders?
My orders... Give me a minute.
She looks around a little bit. She's like, well, We have some seriously injured. I'm wondering if we should send them back to the holding. We have enough able-bodied people to hold the outside as for now.
How many are injured?
I think I counted 11 injured.
How many people do you think would take to take them back?
Well, some can walk on their own, some others. If we send them all back, I think we lose another 15 people in total.
Don't send them back. Find some place safe and put them there.
All right.
And calculate all the risks. There's a lot of exits here, and you never know what's hidden behind every door. And I don't want any recklessness. Not like with that mission you did. Be careful. This is serious. This is Ken we're talking about. He's got heaps amount of power, and we've already lost a good 6 men.
Yeah, we saw that out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So be careful.
I'll keep people standing. Eyes open.
Good. Now go.
Yes, ma'am. And she runs away to like maintain the army. What do you do?
I go straight forward.
So you follow Fluffy Betty and Bright Spider.
Yeah. And as I catch up to them, I look at Bright Spider and I ask, "So how did the gun work? Like, did it go? Did it work? The gun?"
Could you spare me your snide commentary for just
No. Just
5 minutes while people are dying around us?
I told you, a plan B.
You say a lot of things. I'll let you know when they are relevant. Come on, Fluffy.
And in this moment, they're not relevant.
Aren't you clever? And
I am.
while talking, I continuously try to hobble forward.
Yeah, no,
like
I
it is-
imagine like
But she doesn't let you. She's just like keeps being the "I told you so" person.
Mhm.
as you you bash open a door, and as you enter into one of the like deeper chambers, it is very hot in here. We get like a close up of Fluffy Betty as we see like sweat drops are starting to form on your forehead.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yes.
You look around and you hear, because this entire like inside is made mostly out of metal, and as such we hear the echoing of distant footsteps as you enter this part, but you don't see anyone.
So I'm very suspicious.
Yeah?
Yes. And if I wouldn't have Bright Spider, I would have run after it.
Yeah?
But I won't.
Do you, so what do you do instead?
I don't know. I think we have to come up with a plan of how the thing looks, right?
Yeah?
The inside. What are we looking at? How
So,
does the compound look?
so I would like you to roll to read a situation then. That is a sharp roll. Ooh, you got a good result there.
I got 12.
Oh my goodness. So, you are allowed to ask 3 of these questions. What's my best escape route / way in or way past? Which enemy is most vulnerable to me? Which enemy is the biggest threat? What should I be on the lookout for? What's my enemy's true position? And who's in control here? You're allowed to ask 3 of these questions.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with who's in control.
So you look around and you notice that like the obvious answer here is that Ken, like you've taken the outside, but yet whatever's going on in here does not feel like a scared retreat. It feels more like you're being lured in deeper into the facility. You are clearly not in control here.
Good to know. Okay, and then was there something about my weakness?
What's my enemy's biggest weakness?
Yeah.
Or which enemy is most vulnerable to me? That's the one.
That one's tricky though.
Yeah. Do you want to ask it?
Yeah, let's go for it.
So, right now, the enemy most vulnerable would be, like, you look around and you see, like, through peering eyes, through metal rafters up above and from the sides, like, you are clearly being watched. And these metal sheets, you could perceivably punch straight through one of them and drag out a follower of Ken as you are being observed.
Huh?
And you have one more question.
Okay. But then that's our weakness.
That's the enemy most vulnerable to you would
Is the people.
yeah.
Got it. Sorry. And then the other question would be, was there something about how to get out?
Yeah, what's your best way in,
Yeah.
out, or through?
Ooh. Through.
Through. Your best way through would be to just keep walking.
Okay.
You are expected.
Just me or everyone? I can't find out.
You can't tell.
Shit. Okay.
So what do you do?
Well, I get one of those people.
So you So as you walk through, I assume like Bright Spider and Cindy, you're too busy with your like pointless graveling at each other. And suddenly Fluffy Betty just punches through the sheet metal.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm getting one of those people.
Yeah, and you just like grab a hold of someone, and we recognize the woman you grab. It's the woman who was like arguing with Bright Spider on the bridge, like trying to force Bright Spider to
Ah.
participate in the fire ritual.
Yes.
And like you pull through, and she is completely taken by surprise as you pull her out from her hiding spot. And what do you do with it? Like you have her at your mercy.
Yes. So I need her to tell me a few things. You're gonna tell me the truth, and then we'll figure out what to do.
She just looks terrified at you. What do you like? How do you react to this?
Bright, I just freeze to begin with because Fluffy Betty just pulled the most insane rabbit out of a hat trick I've ever seen and pulled a human out of a wall.
Yep.
But
Obviously.
once I get my bearings with the person I presume firmly secured in Fluffy Betty's arms,
Yes.
This woman is stunned
Yeah.
right now at what's going on.
I'm going to march, like, just hobble as best I can up to this woman. I'm going to put the borrowed gun under her jaw, and I'm going to demand answers.
Let's go aggro then.
Okay.
Roll plus hard.
That would be a 9.
So on a 9, so she looks at you and she says, "Do it. My sacrifice to the fire will be glorious. My life will burn eternal."
Roughly halfway through that sentence, he pulls the trigger.
Oh Jesus.
Wow.
So this counts as succoring someone
Mhm.
because she is helpless. You inflict harm as established, and with a pistol underneath the head, we just get the wall behind her and like a splatter effect on it.
Fanatics.
Cindy, how are we doing?
We're doing good. Just chilling, watching. She's kind of stunned
Yeah.
because she was a little busy roasting Bright Spider for his genius plan.
And now he's killed a woman in front of you.
He has. And she's like, he's got some spunk.
Are we going to keep going, or are you going to ask me if I know how the gun works again?
I never asked you that.
I continue. I look to Fluffy Betty, my hobble helper.
Yes, we walk on, right?
I guess so.
I am quite annoyed though,
Yeah.
because I got the person for a reason. Like
You can
not
the funny thing is though that you can just get another person.
Oh really?
Yes.
Oh, just
So
There's so many
Bright Spider
people.
hobbles on, and you just like grab above the rafters and pull down another cultist.
quite stupid though. I mean, you could seen it coming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
They are very excited.
Apparently, yeah. Okay. So this time, you can still ask the questions, but no shooting. The gun.
Okay. After a very slow 180, I will hobble on back and attempt to use this individual's former comrade as leverage.
Yeah.
So, am I going to have to paint another portion of your lovely wall, or are you going to tell me what you are up to?
Yeah. So I would like you to first roll read a person, so you have some hold to spend through this conversation. So roll plus sharp.
All right. That would be a 4.
Oh, sweet. You get one hold. So the questions you can tell is, are they telling the truth? What are they really feeling? What are they intending to do? What do they wish you'd do? And how could I get your character to blank? Yeah, so we can start the conversation and you can throw in one of these questions, or you can do one right now.
Conversation-wise, Bright Spider wants to know how to make this person talk.
Okay.
I want to know how can I get more information out of this. If
Okay.
that is an
so
available
how do I get this person to tell me the truth?
Mhm.
You apply the psychic maelstrom.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Noted. Is that something I am capable of doing in this situation?
This is a very psychic maelstromly charged place you're in. So you just look at them, and you know that whatever they know, they are too caught up in Ken's fire cult to ever tell you anything of use. Like, their mind is warped by the fire.
Betty, I am capable of extracting information from this individual, though I am not so sure they will survive the process.
Noted. Well, if you get information, it's worth that, I would say.
Noted. And I am going to... there are very warm pipes running through this place.
There sure as fuck are, yes.
Then, Bright Spider, I'm going to grab this person. Or
Yeah.
try to with Betty's help, considering we have this is essentially a very scrawny individual trying to pull someone from the Hulk. With presumably Betty's help, I am going to take my own very burned hand and just put it to one of the pipes.
Oh, God.
And then put the other person to the pipes as well, in a form of
so you're
linking.
acting a conduit?
Yes.
Oh, sweet deal.
I'm trying to get information from them. It doesn't do a whole lot of good to do things on my own.
That's true.
Bright Spider's reason behind this.
Roll weird.
I really shouldn't have called myself the good person of bad rolls. That's a 5.
Even with your weird added on?
That is a 7.
There we go. That's what you want. The 7 to 9. On a 7 to 9, I will give you an impression of the answer to whatever question you give. So what is your question?
What are you trying to do?
Okay, so you grab the pipe and holding them, push them to the pipe, and you feel I think we all see a surge of blue energy go from the pipe through Bright Spider into this other person, who immediately becomes an ice popsicle. Their body freezes to minus 0 Kelvin, essentially. And you drop them to the floor and they shatter into dust. And you get a vision in your mind of Ken standing in a circle of fire, and you see yourself walking into, in the background, walking in and walking towards him. And as you walk towards him, you get shoved into the fire.
All right. Forgive me, it takes a bit. I'm relatively sure that they are planning to get us into whatever inner sanctum they have to this place, and then, get the jump on us. Specifically me, flatteringly enough, or at least as far as this person is concerned. That may have something to do with, the entire pipe situation, but it is hard to tell.
What exactly did you see?
I saw a circle of fire, I saw Ken, I saw myself approaching said circle, and I saw myself being pushed in.
Did you see who pushed you?
I do not possess eyes in the back of my skull in situations like these.
Funny.
Right.
One would think that having just witnessed Bright Spider atomize someone would be... But it's Bright Spider, whatever, he does what he wants.
So, I would like to avoid this situation, if at all possible. Don't you have a good few score in heavily armed men who could do something about this?
Which part specifically? I mean, I'm sure one of them can throw you in the fire.
You are exhausting. I meant the entire situation of sending the injured priest in first.
I thought we were all going together.
Well, yes, but here are you, here am I, here is the only capable individual in our little trio, and here is not several score heavily armed men.
I'll be right back.
Cindy returns with several scores of heavily armed men.
Are you
Yeah.
happy?
Well, if they could go on and, start removing some of these pests, then yes, for once I would be.
They look to you, Cindy.
Camo, kettle, tea and coffee. Go forward and check it out.
So these 4 people walk up, and they do the same kind of roll as Fluffy did, and just start shooting people through the walls, like the people who are watching you. And further down the line, we hear scurrying as the cultists flee deeper into the inner sanctum.
Mm-hmm.
And Camo comes back, or I think T comes back, and it's like, "That's it. It's clear."
Thanks. Now lead the way.
I assume you're asking T to lead the way, or
Yes.
yeah. T just like you talking to me? Yeah. Oh,
Yes,
okay.
T. Lead the way.
Okay. And they lead you deeper in, and you catch up with Kettle, Coffee, and Camo on the way in. You finally get to what seems to be the big doors to the inner sanctum, the most holy.
Do we have a plan?
Kill the rats inside, don't die.
Smart.
Fair. I'll give it that
And
one.
If at all possible, leave Ken to my gun. If you'd like to rough him up, maybe remove an arm or two, I wouldn't mind in the slightest, but
Are you
catharsis.
seriously still gonna go with a gun after everything that happened?
Well, unlike some, I try to get involved for my own cause. Thanks for asking.
So who opens the doors then? Are we allowing the soldiers to do it, or?
Bright Spider is not opening the door first.
This is the biggest GM trap. Who touches the doors?
Cindy pushes through and she just throws open the door.
Yeah. So you do, and the doors bend to the doors bend to your might, as you swing them open, and inside we see the central room of this heat facility, as there are gouts of steaming water being pushed around the room, and we see a man in a red suit and albino skin standing in the middle of the room, surrounded by a lot of these shirtless, nearly naked, or some fully naked followers. This room, outside of this room, it was warm, but in here it is a good 70 degrees Celsius. And
Smoking hot.
yeah, walking into a sauna. And Ken just turns around and he's like, "And there you are." Cindy, you were first in the room. I don't he's looking towards you.
You are speaking.
Here we are.
"And to what do I owe the pleasure of this violent affair?"
I mean, I'm still hobbling in from behind here.
Do you want to press past Cindy? Or
yes. I take a moment to muster up the courage to do that, considering I've just seen my own imminent death. But at the taunting counter priest, I will definitely push my way past.
counter priest?
I think we call them reformists.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'd be surprised if you did not already know the answer to that.
I know why you think you're here.
Pray tell, inform me. I seem to have gotten a bit lost on my way. This is downtown after all.
It's not, is it? You have walked into a place you do not belong, man of ice and cold. This is not your domain, and yet I think you are here to try to stop what is unstoppable.
If you are asking if I am here to stop the plague you've been infecting a good number of our potential residents here, then yes, congratulations. The adult has come to stop the child with a matchstick.
And yet, we are all creatures of warmth. I saw what you did with my follower outside. I saw what happened. You only reap death. Fire creates light. But we are not here to argue our semantics. We are here for the ultimate sacrifice.
How right you are. Betty, would you do us the honors?
Of what?
Betty, read the room.
I am not allowed to shoot this person. So what do I do?
Shoot.
Oh, I am allowed.
Shoot the people.
Why are you asking the GM whether you're allowed to shoot someone or
I
not?
was specifically told not to shoot Ken because you wanted to
You were
shoot
instructed
Ken.
not to murder him, if at all possible.
So now I do murder him.
There are also 10 people around him that are almost half naked.
Yeah, that's true. Very distracting.
Are you attacking?
Yes, definitely. By myself?
I don't, looking to Cindy, is the army following Betty here?
No, they go to stand behind Ken. No, in front of Ken. And I go to stand beside Ken.
So, Fluff, you do the,
Ah.
you do the whole, what was your exact wording? Would you do the honors?
Yes.
And as you do, the entire, the army group that was with you suddenly, rushes past and forms a protective shield between Ken and Fluffy Betty.
You know, I suspected as much, and I am still disappointed.
Did you really suspect this, though?
You're a bit transparent there.
Am I? You didn't see this coming at all.
I would like to try and speak truth to a mob. If this counts.
Roll to speak truth to a mob, because the mob protecting Ken is not 100% unquestioningly in favor of Cindy right now. So
I rolled a 6.
even with your addition,
I rolled an 8.
remember your stats, children.
Please.
my fucking heart caught in my throat for a second.
So on an 8, what happens?
I get to hold 1.
Yeah. So let's hear your truth speaking to the mob then. And then after you've delivered, you can tell me how the mob reacts.
So this is it. This is the great trap you have sprung on me. And to what effect, may I ask? Weapons? Power? You have died and you have bled for her? She has reined you in from your very well-earned activities, and now you're expected to lay down your lives like this? What do you stand to gain from this other than a pathetic status quo while the people you know in your own hold burns for her selfish interests? I can offer you more. I can offer you truth. I can offer you purpose. And I can offer you guns. I know how much you like those. Take your hold back after this. Consider amongst yourself, make Camo the leader for all I care. I do not wish to meddle in your affairs. I only wish for the benefit of these communities that labor under the yoke of a false flame. So I ask you now, is this what you want to do?
And how do they react? Spend your hold.
They unite and fight for me as a gang.
What?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I not have a plan B?
Boom! And so, I would like for you... So there is a gang battle that's going to happen here, because there's Ken's gang, and then there is Cindy Sweet's former army, now under the control of Bright Spider. But Cindy,
Yeah.
since Ken is just your puppet,
Yeah.
would you do me the honor of rolling for Ken's gang in this battle?
Yeah.
How big is Ken's gang?
Equal to, it is a medium gang.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Go on, okay.
I got a 4.
I got a 4.
Wait, do I...
So, so here's what happens, right?
Wait.
Here's
Do I
what-
plus a stat or something?
Plus hard.
Plus hard. Oh, I got a 6. That's not
That's
even
not
be-
better.
That's not better. No.
So here's what happens. We are doing what is known as... I'll describe first, and then we'll talk about what happens. So, on your words, Camo looks to the others and says, "The spider's right. We will not throw our lives away for Cindy." And they turn towards the fire cultist, and Ken goes, "Such a pity." And the two groups attack each other. As the fighting happens, are you do you want to get involved in this?
No.
Fluffy Betty, please. We had a deal. Don't betray me as
That's
well.
very true. Yes. Oh God. Okay. Yes.
I will
Also
say.
because I haven't fought, so I can handle it.
So, Fluffy, which side do you fight for?
Well, obviously for the one that doesn't involve. Yeah. Obviously, yeah.
You fight for Bright Spider?
Yeah. I want to shoot Ken. I was promised to shoot Ken. I want to shoot Ken.
Okay, so here's what happens. These gangs are of equal strength and footing. So both gangs take 2 harm as this fight breaks out. And this counts as single combat. The two groups fight at each other, guns firing and fireballs hurling through the room. Bright Spider and Cindy, respectively, what do you do as these two groups start tearing each other to pieces?
Bright Spider is going to take up a strategic position behind Fluffy Betty Jr. since we have, like he said before, one competent member of this trio, and as far as he's hoping that she is still clever enough to see that siding with the person who isn't actively setting people on innocent civilians on fire from within is the morally right thing to do.
That wasn't part of the plan.
Like I have a moral compass, but yeah, of course.
And Cindy, what do you do?
I take a strategic position beside Ken, and he does the same. We're prepared to fight in case it comes to us.
Yeah. So the battle rages on, and after harm is exchanged, rules-wise, after harms is exchanged once, it's clear to you, to the 4 of you then, with Ken being the 4th major person here, that these are groups of equal strength. And if you just let this battle continue, they will kill each other they will keep killing each other. They've taken 2 harm. Do your sides want to keep fighting?
Do I even have a side at this point?
Yeah, you do. You're fighting with Ken's side.
Yes, that's right. Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how the biggest gun in the room is affecting the outcome of this. To be perfectly honest.
Yeah. So when a PC is part of a gang, they up this. That's true. When a PC, you count as a small gang by yourself.
Yeah. So it's not really.
So you are putting an advantage. So here's you have 2 armor, right?
Yeah.
So you take no harm either in this situation. You are pretty fine.
Yes.
So I'm going to toss this over to Cindy, actually. Here's what's actually happening. Cindy.
Yeah.
You're losing.
Okay.
Because you both got bad rolls, so it's just up to the size of the groups. You are losing right now. There's another dice roll coming up, which could, turn the tide of battle in your favor. Or make you lose even harder.
What would that entail?
It would entail all of the fire cultists dying here.
Fuck. And the dice roll?
And the dice roll could turn the tide of battle to have all the soldiers die instead.
I'll take my chances on that.
Let's see this dice roll then.
Praying.
Plus hard.
A 9.
A 9. So here's what goes down. You see that you are starting to lose the battle, and you look to Ken, and Ken looks to you for a moment, and he just smiles at you with this devilish grin and says, "You fight valiantly, but you are not on your own turf." And suddenly a bunch of these valves start opening up, spewing boiling water into the room.
Damn, Ken.
Reaction from Bright Spider and Fluffy Betty?
Bright Spider is I do have a question on this. Where are my remaining cultists?
They did not accompany you in
Okay.
here.
So
They are still outside.
They are no longer an element in the combat.
Very loyal.
Yeah.
Oh, your entire army just turned traitor. Do you really want to diss me for loyalty right now?
No, it's
Fair.
just like a part of our army.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Bright Spider continues.
You just
Yeah.
want to keep fighting.
Like I stand at the precipice right now where either I win or like I am at the exact same situation I was in before.
Yeah. That's,
So I stand with nothing to lose that I wouldn't already lose.
that's true. So the gangs end up taking more harm. And morale is clearly as the fighting continues, morale is clearly starting to break down. Your people, Cindy, are still holding it together due to your successful role, but the army is starting to lose will.
Mm-hmm.
You do not have neither pack alpha nor leadership, right?
I do not know.
Which is the skills you need to keep an active fighting force together.
I'm not sure if this would be reiterating something already done, but I could roll, one of the options if you roll for Frenzy is that not only, they turn as a gang, you can also send them into an orgy of uninhibited emotion, one of which is fighting.
Right.
I'm not entirely sure, could...
You already got one hold,
Yeah.
and you've already spent that, and we need to respect that dice roll
Okay,
in this
definitely.
in this situation. I think the outcome will come down to Fluffy Betty as the trump card here. The soldiers are dying.
Yeah.
The cult members are dying faster, but the soldiers are looking like they do not want to keep fighting. You need to finish the fight right now, or else this is gonna go poorly for you. What do?
Well, I shoot the dude.
You want to shoot Ken?
Yeah.
All right, then I want you to seize by force. Roll hard.
Okay.
Oh my god, that's a double sixes.
Yes, I got a 13.
Jesus, Alexander is having a heart attack on the other side of the room.
I am aging 10 years for every minute that's passing right now.
But I waited long enough to shoot the dude. But
You
yeah.
did. But so here's what we see happening, right, Cindy? Ken says this, the water starts pouring out, and then all of a sudden, Ken looks at you with this smile, and then his head explodes.
I've got really good aim.
And suddenly a silence falls through the room as we hear Ken's body thudding to the ground. Everyone else stops at this moment. I'm waiting for any of you to do something.
So, I do believe we have concluded today's ultimate sacrifice, do we not? Or is there more for you to fight for, more for this misguided flame to represent? He is dead. You are dying. And for what?
The other cultists are shying away, retreating, as their religious leader has died. There is only Cindy Sweet remaining.
Bright Spider's going to hobble a bit closer. The remnants of her former army still there. So, Camo, I don't suppose you'd be able to tell me whether it is a good idea to let someone with such tendencies and such disrespect for yourself and your fellows to remain?
I reckon not. She snaps her fingers, and another one comes up with a pair of handcuffs towards Cindy. Cindy?
She fights.
Yeah? You wanna fight and try to get out of this? What?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wants to fight. And as she's fighting, she's just like, are you really gonna give up a roof over your head, nice clothes, food, water, heat for cold, and rags for clothes? And not knowing when your next meal is gonna be? so
Can't-
be it.
Bright Spider, overhearing this, is going to retort, "Those things never came from you, Cindy. They came from themselves. Were you the one gathering the food, the weapons? Were you the one providing the heat? Or were you sitting in your little ivory tower lording it over the hard-working folk who did your bidding not knowing better? They risk nothing. They do not risk this for me, but they have realized that they need not risk it for you."
And that's very fair. But seeing as the one who made them come together, who gave them a roof over their head, who gave them areas, places to go, to raid these places, to have things,
Is this
I did a little more than you did.
Is this conversation going on while the fight is happening between the gang and Cindy?
No, like I imagine Cindy, like the way I see this is because you have some kind of weapon on you, right?
Yes.
What is your weapon?
Knives.
Yeah, you have knives. So I assume you've like punched away and are like backed up in a corner with your knives,
Yeah.
talking. Like you're not actively fighting and talking at the same time.
No.
I don't assume. But I think honestly, like you are still their leader, Cindy. Like in this moment of charge situation, Bright Spider got the mob to do his bidding, but now a lot of people have died. And I would like for you to try to seduce or manipulate, in this case, manipulate the soldiers into, like, remembering that you are the fucking boss, essentially. Because I feel like that's what you're trying to do here, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So roll plus hot.
Plus hot.
Yeah.
I got a 10.
You got a fucking
I
10.
got a fucking 10. Jesus, I can live.
So here's what happens, right? We see Cindy, you do this. We see Bright Spider, and suddenly Camo just steps in between the both of you. Just like, enough. So many have died for this. And if this facility does not keep working, even more will die.
I didn't intend for this many to die, but someone had to recruit cult members. I never intended for this. I just wanted what's best for everyone, to have heat.
You put the blame on me that you
I
rallied
don't-
your army to attack a holding that you were simultaneously in cahoots with to remove what exactly?
I wanted the information on the guns that can help my army, guns I would give my army so we can protect themselves, so they can protect themselves from others. Like Kickshirt, which I know you're very good friends with.
He doesn't try to kill me on the regular, so we converse.
Have I tried to kill you yet?
Yes. Literally now. There was a large
You were
situation
attacking
involving
me.
100...
It's called self-defense.
Like, Bright Spider's just looking at Fluffy Betty Jr. in the sense, like, is someone saying the sky is green? Like, he's just bewildered by the logic that's going on. Just like, am I crazy? Or, like...
Like Camo sighs heavily.
Ken backstabbed me, you too, you know. He'd never said he was gonna kill my people. He never said he was gonna kill your friends and mine. We never agreed to this. And as sad as I am, I'm also happy that he's dead. He had a big role in everything. But you know what? He killed our people.
Perhaps there is a solution to this, then.
What, you controlling the heat sources now?
Are you proposing someone else do it? I'm saying
Yes.
I will take over the heat. If I do a bad job, you have already clearly demonstrated your ability to enter here by force and remove me.
Camo nods at this. Yes.
So, clearly, I will have no chance to really act against you, lest my head form a prettier fireworks displays than Ken did. However, I don't think the individuals that are skilled in running this plant are one that answer well to guns and brute force as much as they are religious zeal.
I suggest none of us run the pipes. Since we're both partial, I suggest we have non-partial one.
Camo, you're a clever individual. More so than some give you credit for, but that is a discussion for a later day. I want what is best for all. The reason I even got into this is because people have been burning from the inside on account of a certain collaborator.
I never intended for that.
nothing.
I lost people too.
You have nothing to go on, other than her slander towards me, that I somehow want the end of things and to kill people. I have no interests in murdering people wholesale. What would I gain from that?
I never said you wanted to murder people.
Cindy,
He's accusing me of stuff. He's putting words in my mouth.
Cindy, enough. We're done here. Let
Yeah.
the spider do what he wants. And Camo and the remaining soldiers walk out. And do you do anything, Cindy?
Good question.
Because if you just stand there for like a little bit, Camo gets to the door and turns around and goes, regardless of what happened today, only the people in this room saw it. The holding needs you, Cindy. There are wounded to be taken care of.
Agreed. But I don't want you there anymore.
You are in no such position to make that demand. Now come along. We all have a role to fill.
What if I say no?
Camo turns and walks out.
Cindy. Cindy walks the other way.
So you're leaving the holding then? You're letting Camo take the holding?
No. I just don't want her there.
That's not on the table.
God damn it.
You've lost here. So let's step outside of the game a little bit
Yeah.
because this has been a very charged situation.
Yes.
What's happening right now is essentially Camo, who is the leader of the military, just said only the people in this room know that you collaborated with Ken. If you're willing to back down, we can like forget that this ever happened. If you're not willing to back down, Camo will go and inform the soldiers that you are no longer the leader of the Hardhold.
I see.
Like your choice here is either back down or flee. If you back down, you get to keep your power.
Then I back down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you walk out following Camo.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. Don't and to talk outside a game. I know that this kind of like sucks for you, Verona.
Yes.
But here's the thing: you have access to a lot of poison, and I'm sure you can.
I do.
I'm sure you can solve this. Don't you worry.
Yes, I've already
Yeah, exactly.
planned in my
exactly.
head. I grow hellebore in my garden. You know, the poison, not
You-
not
you-
the girl.
You grow it. You also grow it in someone's eye, apparently.
You do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah.
Cindy leaves, leaving with the lie that you successfully took over the plant together.
And Bright Spider I will allow myself a pained smile. And turn to Fluffy Betty Jr. Well, I do believe thanks are in order.
Big time.
And, well, I am happy to inform you that you are no longer just owed a favor by your local cult leader, but the local provider of heat.
Perfect. We can use that.
Now, would you be so kind as to assist me in gathering my darling followers outside and seeing if we can't round up the, well, former associates of Ken? I do believe we need to establish the new hierarchy.
Yeah, I can do that. While at the same time kind of figuring out how the thing looks.
Wonderful.
So what does this look like then? Are you like rounding up and shooting people, or
More so rounding up and, well, informing them of new management. Shooting is saved if strictly necessary, but well, Bright Spider has been in the cult game for a while now, and he knows that the best way to convince someone of the truth is to find them when they are at their most broken. And who could be more broken than someone who's built their entire life around a single individual only to see just how fallible they are? He is going to try and adopt as many of the former fire cultists as possible and remove the rest.
And since you do have the feature of like aggressive recruiter or like successful recruiter, I don't know what the wording is.
It is eager, enthusiastic, and successful.
Well, there we
Wow.
go.
And that is why he's also bringing the 7 remaining cult members from the outside to ensure that there's a bit more voices.
All right. So you managed to like we see you like getting to work, but I am right now more interested to keep following Cindy for a bit.
She's here.
And where is here? Where do we see Cindy next? Like I think we get a scene of you coming back to the army and Camo like exclaiming, "We won!"
Yeah.
And the army like celebrating.
Yeah, and she's just watching them, trying to be as much of a leader as she can while trying to repress all the emotion of what just happened.
Yeah. And you're standing next to Camo, who I think you've now for the first time really gotten the vibe of how much power this woman actually has in this situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when we cut from that, where do we see you next?
She's getting shit-faced at the slop house.
All right. So we
Yeah.
cut from like brave face, like stoic, like yes, we did this. It's great. To just like the same, like your head in the exact same position in the frame, but now you're just piss drunk.
Yeah, but she's like in a part of the bar where like it's kind of hard to see her. She's just kind of in hiding.
Yeah.
She doesn't want anyone to see her, and her reliable shoulder to cry on is not there, aka François.
No, he's somewhere else at the moment.
Yeah, he's out, I don't know, plucking apples for his beer making, maybe. I don't know.
Milking the pig?
Yeah, maybe somewhere on a farm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finest pig feed available. Nothing better.
Exactly. And I think that is where we end today's episode, on a piss drunk angry Cindy.
Yeah, she's more like sad than angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we wrap up the storytelling for this time now, but I just want to take a moment to kind of talk about PC on PC aggression in Apocalypse World.
Yeah.
Because as we saw here, this played out like this could have played out in either one's favor, but it ended up playing in Bright Spider's favor. I just want to like remind that we are a group of friends playing this game.
Yeah.
And even if there's a lot of like sass and hostility between the characters, it is all like intended in good fun for the sake of the story. But I just want to like how are like most interested than like Alexander and Verona, how are you feeling right now about what just went down?
I'm actually sad.
Yeah?
Like, I don't know. It's a weird feeling. I know Ken isn't a real person or Cindy, but like they were my babies.
I mean, Cindy's still around.
I know, but like Ken, I had plans for him and like he'd just been like
He was in
revealed.
2 scenes.
Yeah, I know. It's like the very first episodes, I was like so excited for Ken, and then all of a sudden everyone's starting to plot against him, and I'm just trying to put on a brave face, and now he's actually dead.
Yeah, because spoilers, me and Verona have talked about this betrayal since like episode 1.
Yeah, we've done a lot of evil talking. But like now that he's gone, it's just like, okay, where do I go from here?
Yeah, and I think that's the question now. Where do we take Cindy from here?
Yeah.
And I think that's something we're going to talk about between episodes.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alexander, how are you feeling?
I feel like I just dodged enough bullets to give me a very neat center parting.
Yeah.
Because this was essentially, hello, your entire reason for existing is dying. What do? You try to stop it. This player is now going to murder you for trying to stop it. And somehow this has not ended in Bright Spider's death. I'm just glad he's alive.
Yeah. And I also don't think it has ended Bright Spider and Cindy's ability to like interact with each other in the context of this game.
Oh, not at all. The way I see it is that currently Cindy is sitting on firepower, which like she always has, and Bright Spider has lost his ability to be like subtle and sneaky. Like he now has like something he needs to take care of. So he has gained like he has become a public figure in a different way, which was previously his greatest defense was like, I'm a dude, don't harm me. But at the same time, he's currently sitting on a secret, which is her involvement with Ken, which means that they both of them have like a hook on the other, so they can very much interact on a level field.
And I'm interested in how that all plays out. Also, Fluffy Betty, how are you doing?
Good. Just like any other day.
Yeah. Just business as usual. These, these politic people, they're just
so boring.
The worst.
Yes. Why does one do it?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think that's a good spot to end off. We leave it at a bit of a cliffhanger, and we will join you back in the next episode to see what the future holds for these people. Meanwhile, I have been the game master, Jakob Säfsten, and playing Cindy, we've had
Verona.
Playing Bright Spider,
Alexander.
And playing Fluffy Betty Jr.,
Tialda.
Thank you so much for listening. Bye! You've been listening to Dicey Performance, which is a part of the Umeå Theatre Company and Umeå Folkuniversitet. This episode is edited by Jakob Säfsten, engineered by Linn Olsson, managed by Joana Velosa, art is by Vincent Ekwall, and PR is by Alex Rader. And the project manager is Jakob Säfsten. You can follow us on Instagram at Dicey Performance, on Twitter at Dicey Perform, and to follow us on YouTube, simply follow that link in the description. Thank you so much for listening.